I got to talk. I got to tell what I feel. I got to talk about my life as I see it. Biggie. Biggie.
Biggie. What is up, you clowns? Haha! Back again. This is all that matters. Episode something or other. I realized when I was editing the last one that was 10. So congratulations on your 10th episode. Michael, this, however, is episode 11. Welcome in, Mr. Moist, Uncle Gary. How's it going, man? What's going down?
Uncle Gary, I like that. I knew it was not. I knew it was 10. The last episode, you said you called it 0013. I think you were like incredibly off. I called it 10 as usual. I was right, and then you found out. You're like, I realized when I was editing. It's like it's also they're listed in order on the apps on the Spotify in order. It says number 10.
Yet another embarrassment for me. Yet another one. So
in addition to the way you opened this podcast, your cadence was, I don't know, it's a little bit flamboyant, perhaps.
All right, well, I guess we know what type of episode we are in for today. We are getting, you know what? We just jump right into it.
Getting goofy today. You know what it is?
Today.
You know what it is? We're at odds. This is awkward.
Oh,
we've done the whole season.
Right.
And we are fighting we're essentially fighting for the final playoff spot. Just you and me, head to head. It's like a game of chicken in our
I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm so excited to be in this. This is like the championship for me. So I am super, super pumped up.
It's really,
man.
It is the championship of two teams that are going to lose in round one.
One of the things that I respect about your fantasy game, amongst many other things, is you are way ahead of schedule on the scenarios of what can happen, who can get in, and the points, this, that, and the other thing. So the floor is yours, sir. What
so
are we dealing with this weekend?
You don't even want a small talk at all. You really want to talk about?
I feel like the small talk will happen. The small talk will happen as we have it.
Okay, I can summarize. I can summarize these scenarios really easily. There are 6 playoff spots, but given Ben's complicated rule to add a tiny bit of fairness, or so he thinks, and the whatever 6 of you minions who voted with him. Josh wasn't even there. Josh definitely wouldn't have voted for this rule. 100%. Because it makes things complicated. Josh doesn't like rules. Play the game how it's supposed to be played. Whatever. And we assume I have checked. We think that I can adjust the playoff seeds. We don't even know for sure. But anyhow.
Yeah.
Basically, the way to think about it is, because I'm sure other people have struggled with how to think of it, the top 5 get in as they are listed. Basically, the 6th spot is determined based on points. I think that's the simplest way to think about it.
So of the bottom, if I have this correctly, of the bottom 5 teams, the bottom 5, the
just
teams
a
with
points
the most points in the bottom 5
right
are right. Okay.
So you're not safe if you have low points like I do. You're not safe unless you get into the top 5. So whereas in a normal year would have been for me winning, you're in because I'm 6 and 7. I'm the 6th place team, and both you and Handel are 5 and 8. You can't catch me in record if I win. But this year, I have to get into the 5 seed to be safe. So basically, just to summarize, and let's go from the top, actually. Willett's clear. First place. He's got the points. I think we can be reasonable. Like, let's say there's anything within 100 points. Maybe. 100 points is the most you can possibly catch someone on a week. But on the week you need to do it, it's just very, very, very unlikely. So if you're 100 plus points, you're clear. You're good. Willits has the points championship wrapped. He has first place wrapped up. He has the high week wrapped up. That's the triple.
Well, he doesn't have the high week wrapped up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. If someone wants to come score
week,
more than 220, it's only 1 week left. Anyhow,
who knows?
He's got most, for the most part, he's got those two for sure. The high week, very, very likely. That is the quadruple crown is within his reach if he gets the championship. Only been done very few times. My championship was a quadruple crown championship for those counting. Not sure. I can't even remember because it's hard to go back and say who won. It's possible that's the only one. It could just be mine. Maybe Ben probably has one when we had that stretch where he won two and he had a really good teams both years. And, maybe go back. Fish had a great season. It's like a decade ago now. But anyway, Wills has sealed it all up. Josh is sealed up second. He can't be caught. The third and the fourth seed, interchangeable, doesn't matter. Sean and Ben are both in the playoffs. Top four.
Well, it doesn't matter.
It matters for who they play, but they don't even know who they'll play. So they can't get a bye. They can't miss the playoffs is the point. So Willits, Josh, in the playoffs. Excuse me, with the bye. So they're skipping. They basically got 2 weeks off. They go on a long vacation. They don't even need to field a team. Willis could probably win points without fielding a team. He's 200 points ahead of Josh.
Wow.
Pretty good. Good job by him.
We know that he will. So.
That's what you do when you grind. Maybe you play ahead a little bit. I think Ben's doing that this week. He has the Titans defense. A fine matchup this week, but he's looking at the weeks ahead. They have the Texans coming up. A couple of weeks. So anyway,
Davis Mills is back in there.
It's not as good of a matchup. Still good, but not what it was. That was like the cream of the crop. That was like as good as a matchup gets for those two.
Kyle Allen and the Texans.
Too bad I had the Cowboys lining up against him, man. Now Davis Mills comes back, you get a little swagger. You're like, wow, this team
all the
really
receivers
sucks.
died. So
is Cooks out?
They were saying he might be.
They were saying, who follows the Texans now? This is why you can't draft players on the worst team. It's like, oh, Dameon Pierce, really exciting. It's like first 6 weeks. And now it's like, it's so depressing. You don't want to watch
That was so predictable with Cooks. Like, it was like, oh, he's just locked in. This is guarantee. Anyway. Okay, so
let's get to the meat of it. The meat of it is it's basically a three-way. Mike can't make it. Harrison Smith is a long way out, but he has a chance. Excuse me, Harris Smith. But Mike and Fish are basically definitively out. You most likely it's you, Brian, and myself for 1 seed, and the scenarios are
for 2 seeds.
Excuse me, for 2 seeds. The scenarios are if I win and Brian loses, I'm in. If Brian wins, you're in. Unless Harris Smith catches you, he's 40 points behind. If I lose, also separate. So if Brian wins, that scenario works where it's just basically you and Harris Smith for the last points. Or if I lose, same thing. Like, so either one of those things happen, you're basically in the driver's seat. All you need to do is outscore Harris Smith by less than by
I don't
whatever.
feel good about it.
You have a 40 point cushion.
I don't feel good about it. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, you got 95, so that's bad.
I think I'm on my way. I think I'm ready for that again.
I think I'm ready for that again. His team's a little iffy right now.
95.
95, not so good. But we can talk about that when we recap. I think for now, a lot of things can happen. A lot of things can change. It's unlikely. Only a few people have done it this year, like myself, where you just keep scoring 90. for many years in a row. But that won't happen to you, I don't think. So anyway, you're rooting against me because if I lose, you're in, basically, unless you really blow it. If I win,
Which I will.
Brian loses. Brian has Sean, so he has a tough team. I have Ben. Ben's looking good. He's projecting really high.
Let's go, Ben.
That's it. You got to root for Ben. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Rooting for Ben. You should.
The whole season. Of course I will. I'm just rooting for myself. Of course I will. Well, that is fantastic, man. I can't wait to see what happens. I wonder what will be the playoff field this year. And then, once you get in the playoffs, anything can happen.
It's true.
Very
Most
exciting.
likely, Willits or Josh will win. I think Sean and Ben look good. I feel like Brian has some juice.
Yeah, he got a little juice.
Jimmy, but he's got a lot of juice. I don't know. I need some. If I did make it, which I think is unlikely, I need a lot of things to turn. Alvin Kamara is like a dead man walking. What happened to this guy? I traded waiver wire players for him, and then he became basically like that. Like that's what it's like watching him.
Yeah, you should cut him. I'm waiting for it.
Well, Mark Ingram got hurt now. He's out.
Oh.
It's a wrap.
Oh.
So
isn't that a shame when you're just like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad that Mark Ingram got hurt. Oh my goodness.
I didn't say that. I just said that's good for Alvin Kamara and by the transitive property. It's good for me.
Oh man. Yeah, well, just to really I was impressed. I don't know how impressive that rendition of it was. You misspoke a few times. It wasn't the best I've ever heard you. So
you want to start over?
7.5. It's 8 out of 10. 7.5, 8 out of 10.
I don't
Not
know.
bad.
Was it? I don't know. I misspoke. You normally misspeak.
I mean, you said there were 3 people for one spot. That was egregious. That was an egregious error.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay, man. It's late. You're tired, right? You're tired. So
I am tired. I went out. I had Nicole's holiday party yesterday.
Oh, your favorite party.
Is it? Why did you say that?
Well, it must be a lot of fun because the organization is for profit, so they must spend some money. Must be a good time.
They do. I got my eyes on the bill last night.
Ooh, how much was it?
35 G's.
Whoa, that's crazy.
I did. Nicole was trying to act because Nicole signs the bill. She's like, "Should I tip?" There's a service charge, and she was like, "Ask me about tipping." And I was a little drunk. I couldn't really be helpful.
And you tipped, right? You said tip.
Of course, we tipped. It was confusing because there was a service charge, but it wasn't the amount that would supplant a tip.
Oh,
so it was like a minor service charge. I didn't totally get it.
Oh, interesting. Give me the spread, man. What was it? What was it like? What happened at this party? Did you guys? Is it like I remember it as like a sit down dinner.
Yeah, you remember it? Would you come once?
No, I remember you talking about it fondly. I remember our conversation.
Yeah, it is. They do. They do the drinks. They get a private.
They do the drinks.
Room,
they do the drinks.
Private room at a place called Avra in the Rock Center, my old stomping grounds.
Is that like abracadabra? It's like
good one. That's good. No, good joke.
Like
Avra with a V. That I've told you how Marcos used to. My friend Marcos.
I do.
People remember him.
Shout out, Marcos.
Peruvian man. Fun guy. You knew him. You went to Peru with him. Some people, Fish remembers him as the guy who used to beat me up in my office. That's not exactly what happened. We did have a physical altercation once or twice, but he was a hothead. He was a hothead guy. Things went wrong and he would get physical. And that happened. But I don't hold grudges. But he would always mix up his B's and his V's. But it wasn't even like you'd expect, he can't pronounce V or he can't pronounce B, but he would just switch them. So he would say our boss was Abe Sultan, great name. He would call him Ave, and then he would also say vagina. And there was a woman who worked for us who was sexually, interested in him. I don't know. A lot of women really kind of went for him. They aggressively. Yeah, he had that kind of smooth Latin vibe. But Bibiana, her name was Bibiana, but he called her Bibiana. So if he said Bibiana's vagina,
I was gonna say, did he see her vagina or
no,
not?
he didn't. He was involved with another woman who he would have sex with in the office after hours. How about that?
Wow. The crazy times of champion learning. We should do a whole
Not quite like
podcast just on
Terea.
champion learning. In that time we used to sit on the phone. I think we would be on the phone for like 4 hours, just sitting there, just not doing anything.
I would, and there would be people around me. It was an open layout, and I would just speak really quietly on the phone, which is hard to imagine.
Yeah, he was like, I could. No, I couldn't.
That was when I started napping. I would nap. I had the corner seat in a big open layout, and I would just turn my back, and, just kind of lean back, and I would nap. And that was when Nicole met me and fell in love. I got naps in the office, and people don't really know. Maybe they know. Who knows? I would chat with you and I'd nap in the office. God, it's amazing.
And now she's signing $35,000 bills. That's what she's doing now. So,
no, a great story that I don't think most people know about Nicole's holiday parties. Now it's I know a lot. I know these people well, and it's a little less stuffy, and younger people are more in charge, whatever. So it's different. But we've been going to them for so long because Nicole's worked at this place for 10 years, and she started. And it was and then it was older banker, stuffy banker guys. And maybe the second or third, literally a decade ago, I went. It was a similar kind of thing, beautiful, they're serving lovely food in a private room down below in an establishment. I think it was Mario Batali, is that his name? Is one of his restaurants.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And this was back in the day when people would be out and you'd be texting, what are you up to? What are you doing? And I was texting with our friend Jake. And Jake's wants to know what I'm up to. And I told him, I'm here, let's hang out. We're going to meet up, blah, blah, blah. And then next thing I knew, Jake was at the sit down dinner holiday party.
Oh, no.
It was people had just gotten up, but he was and it was you had to dress nice, Yeah, and Jake was in. I don't know if he was totally with it. I don't know. He was going through some tough times. I think that was Jake and Natalie were on the rocks, on the skids, but he just popped in, man. And that was
wow.
It was I know it was funny. It was Nicole's. The head of the company was a kind of a funny, casual guy, but it was there was a dude who crashed the party, and it was my friend.
Oh no,
Jake, a rapper.
Oh,
white rapper.
I'm sure Nikki was mortified by such a thing.
No, everyone dealt with it pretty well, but yeah. Everyone was drunk. It was late in the evenings. People had been drinking. We had sat down. But it was clear. I remember even someone on the wait staff making a joke about him being there. It was I don't think you belong here.
Yeah, what are you doing here, bro?
It was I told him where I was. I remember we'll meet you later when we're done.
Right. Obviously.
But so those were the good old days. Though you'd be out on the town, man. People would be meeting up.
Shout out Jake Rabinowitz. Shout out Bubble Geese.
Shout out, we're gonna do a podcast. Jake and Tucker podcast.
Oh, did they? Oh, we have to do a mashup. We have to do a collabo.
Crossover. Theirs is about Seinfeld, though, so I don't know how you can join.
Oh, maybe you can go. Maybe you'll be the featured guest.
I could get
Mr.
us.
Moist.
Yeah, I think you gotta get us some more listeners.
Because I don't know.
Our game.
I'm not sure if I could really contribute to that. I don't know if I would be adding any value to that call.
No, probably not. More of a third stringer, bench warmer.
That'd be good. Yeah, I could maybe do the board. I'll be the producer. I'll introduce everybody.
That's it. Playing your true role.
Man, so do we want to review last week's misery? Let's start with the marathon continues against Go Jason Waterfall. Going into the weekend, I really thought I got lucky. I got a 19 out of Josh Allen and a 10 out of Ramondre Stevenson. I was like, man, if I don't beat Josh when he gets that, I'm in deep trouble. And as it turns out, I am in deep trouble. So, terrible team. No more players. Trevor Lawrence almost got his leg amputated. Kenneth Walker is yelling at the quarterback, and then he quit. He didn't want to play in the game anymore. He quote unquote jammed his ankle. He's out.
Yeah, what's an ankle jam?
I mean, I saw what he did, so it sort of makes sense. But still, man, like, what is an ankle jam? I mean, tell me he sprained his ankle. Don't tell me he jammed his ankle like it's a finger. Anyway, so as fun as the season was, gotta say it's
You're ready
over.
to hang
So
it up,
R.I.P.
man. You're ready to hang it up.
R.I.P. Man, it's over. It's a wrap. I don't know what to do. I'll put my lineup in, but
You had to put a lineup. All you have to do, you really are. You would be favored given the scenarios I just laid out. Even though you said I misspoke, and you gave me a 7.5 out of 10, you would be favored. I wish we could get percentages on this. Of course, we can't.
Yeah.
Especially because Ben made a very complicated rule. But
what I've been entertaining is just making a custom league. Should I do that?
No, it's terrible. Okay. I've done a custom league. I was in Gangel's league is in RT Sports.
Mm-hmm.
And they do that so they can do the thing that we've always wanted, which is a team gets a win for being in the top half and a win for the win. Right. So you get a win for the matchup and a win for the top half, which is a nice rule, but not worth going to a new platform for. It's the pickups are terrible.
Right.
They do their pickups. They do the waiver. They do pickups on the app, but they also do their waiver process via email. It's incredibly
that's
lame.
terrible. That's terrible. I mean, I'm sure there's in today's day and age, I'm sure there's a way. Anyway, I like Yahoo. We won't be messing with that.
I like Yahoo, but let's talk about your matchup, Josh. Also, not his best day. Derrick Henry. If Derrick Henry's not doing it, and Jeff Wilson is job in jeopardy, man, it's a little more fluid than we thought. Josh's team doesn't look quite as scary. Obviously, the QBs are often going to score 50 or 60. Garrett Wilson's awesome. Unstoppable force, especially with Mike White. And Keenan Allen's back, so Josh has still got a formidable team, but might not be, considering Waddle got hurt, he got a bad game from Allen, a bad game from Ramondre.
Yeah.
He still got almost 120. It was like, could be much worse. He's got a very good team. Are you ready for now? This week he put Cam Akers back.
Are you ready for the return of Cam Akers? Are you ready?
I'm just hoping he can keep him in the lineup, man. Play him when I play you in the playoffs. If I am lucky enough to make it to that round, just keep Cam Akers in there because that is not scary.
We'll have to party.
Well, he had 18 points, huh? He had 18 points. All touchdowns.
Yeah.
Not doing it. I'm not playing.
Similarly,
he has an accurate projection now. It's 6. Can't believe he's playing him.
Good.
It's ridiculous. This is like the ultimate troll job. He's just like, it's going to work. It's not. This week, I guess you can do it, but it's not.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't really matter.
I think, speaking of lame Thursday nights, and you had a lame Thursday night, man. I bet you were concerned. Get a 0 out of your tight end. I bet you're really worried. And then it's blow-up time for you. It's exactly what you needed. You got projected for 125, ended with 172. We got all these Browns going off. And Jared Goff, you got to play him at home. You better play him at home. So
play Jared Goff almost everywhere, except when he's playing in New England without Amon-Ra.
Right, not a good call.
That's not going to be good. But that was right after I thought I had to play him every week. Anyway, it was a good week for me, except for Alvin Kamara, who is a backup running back. Everybody else is good. This guy named Bam is good. He's pretty good. And Mike White, man.
Wow.
Mike White out here slanging, man. Mike White, not bad. Definitely Much
Didn't look bad at all.
better.
Okay.
He's really nice. I just have to say, something's wrong with them that they took this long. I know you have to give Zach Wilson a little bit of a chance. Why isn't Mike White playing over Flacco? He's clearly better. Why did it take this long? He was good last year.
That was weird.
The AFC champs last year with Mike White. He only played 3 games. One of them, they beat the AFC champs. It's like, he didn't earn your backup spot? Weird. Bad. That's weird. But, people do weird. It really is like, when it's the QB, they make weird decisions because they're too emotionally invested in this. So they do it wrong all the time.
Yeah, Zach Wilson.
It was a good, R.I.P. Zach Wilson. I mean, I think Zach Wilson, he's going to be lucky. Some of these guys, it's crazy. Sam Darnold and Baker are just barely in the league now. And Josh Allen's the best QB ever. All in the same top 10. Josh Rosen literally out of the league.
The only other thing I will say,
Zach Wilson's going to be gone.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. I've never seen it be so bad and have that much opportunity. Like, he got a whole year and a half.
It was a good team too.
And all he had to do was just not fuck it up and just complete some passes, like over the middle. The guy won't throw the ball over the middle. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that clown. So Travis Etienne keeps fumbling the ball. Yeah,
he fumbled this week.
He fumbled. He lost it too.
I think he looked like really elite for like those 3 games, but what do we think now? Now it's not as exciting.
Not as exciting as it used to be.
Off the Detroit game, he's playing the Lions, and he can't do anything.
All right. Well, so much eggplant sucked. These QBs.
Wait, we should before you go off, Sam.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
I mean, his team is kind of dying, but
Lamar
he is not out.
Injury is bad. Lamar injury is bad.
Lamar injury killed him, and also really helped you because, like, if Lamar just plays a full game and gets 20, he's only 40 points. Hard to make up, very doable. Hard to make up when you need it. 20 you could do, especially with my team looking the way it is. And now he's got no Lamar, and he put his money on Purdy. He didn't want to. I went for his boy Huntley, and he went for he liked it. He
Purdy
on Purdy.
I mean, I would have. The other guy, Huntley, had a good that might help you get in the playoffs. He might make some noise for you there. I don't know, man. He had some good fantasy weeks last year, if I remember correctly. That guy. That's when Andrews was really going off. Was with that guy. So.
Andrews, I thought that kept me off Andrews a little bit because I think Andrews really, and it's kind of true. He's really elite with Huntley. He's better with Huntley. Lamar's not that good of a thrower. Lamar doesn't make any receivers that good. Hollywood, maybe.
Hollywood Brown. Okay, so much sucked that you get 70-yard rushing touchdowns from your quarterback every week. Yeah, man. I mean, Josh Jacobs is the league winner, and I had him on my roster, and I dropped him. Instead of DJ Moore.
Well, at least when you traded Alvin Kamara and Justin Jefferson in the same trade.
Yeah.
Or you traded for him, and you had your eyes were right.
I had him. I should have just
Josh Jacobs could be a league winner.
Yeah.
So
and we were talking that shit too. I don't know if you remember. Like in the playoffs, he looked really good too. He looked like a really good running back, and we were like, "Yo, he's good. He's a good player.
A good player. He's clearly a good player." And it was a question of the usage, and I guess
right.
That was one of those where you really don't know. Got to target that uncertainty. But I think MK Willets has like multiple league winners. That's the thing. He doesn't really have any flaws on his team.
No, good for him, man.
But the best picks Kelsey is probably if you drafted this year over again. Kelsey probably the number 1 pick. Right?
So wow, yeah. No, Josh Jacobs? Yeah, of course. He'd be the first pick. Who else would be the first pick? He's the number one RB. He's the RB1.
No. Kelsey would be the first pick.
Oh, Kelsey would be the first pick.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I guess.
I mean,
In our
Jacobs
league,
is
you wouldn't pick a
really good.
quarterback? I don't know. I might pick Josh Allen first.
Kelsey's like a QB1, man. He's got 210 points.
Yeah,
Kelsey's got like
amazing.
50 more points than like the sixth best
Andrews.
receiver.
Oh, then,
No,
that's
then, like
crazy.
he'd be like the wide receiver one. That's how good his season has been. Anyhow, nobody cares about this. Wilts has a great team. We talk about every week. Blah 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 blah. Poo poo platter.
Blah,
Struggling
blah,
at the
blah.
wrong time. Is poo poo stressed, or
Got a
does
lot
he
of
feel like he's in
quarterbacks.
good shape?
Got a lot
Yeah.
of
Well,
quarterbacks.
Jimmy G will hurt you. He could have. It looked like that game started. Tua threw a long touchdown. It was like, oh, Brian could win. But then Lockett. I mean, Lockett's a beast. That's one of the
He's
pickups
so
of the
good.
year. One of the pickups of the
Well,
year.
also egregious drop by Brian.
Yeah, immediate drop.
After week one, just bloop.
Week 1, 4 points, and then your man has double-digit points almost every week.
Wow. Yep. So after
Great
the
season,
4-point drop, 15, 12, 10, 25, 2, 8, 13, 15, 12, 15, 24. Man, what a good season for Mr. Lockett.
Clear cut.
Let's check where he's at.
I'm gonna guess he's a wide receiver 12 or 13.
Ooh, wide receiver 11.
Oh,
12.9 points per game.
How do you find that? What is that? How did you search for that?
I don't rely on other people. I build a database and I use it. So you can kiss my ass.
Have a database.
Oh, I'm not on Team Grind. You can't use Team Grind. You can't use my database because I'm not on Team Grind. So
I don't really need to use your database. You know how I can find out?
That's fine. I do whatever you want. I'm just don't come asking me how I got something. You
I was just
sound
curious.
interested if you. Oh, okay,
I mean, it's just I can just do. Do you know how to filter? You're familiar with how to filter in Yahoo?
Well, who did it faster?
Yeah. I didn't know it was my responsibility.
It was a race. I didn't know it was a race. All right, cool, man. Well, Tyler Lockett. Shout out to Tyler Lockett. Also, I think underrated. Like, I think his was the best roasting of Russell Wilson in a year where everybody and their mother roasted him.
I agree.
I think he had the best one.
Very subtle. What did he say?
It's amazing. He didn't mention him by name.
No, that's how you do it. You don't mention by name. Just really just
class act.
You know? Class act, but everybody knew. What was it? It's amazing when
what you can do when nobody cares about who gets the credit.
Yeah. Wow. Well, why? I'm gonna remember that. I'll remember that when my next when my next podcast takes off without you. I'm gonna
You mean the Seinfeld one? Is that the one that's gonna take off?
I'm gonna say that it'll be like when Jake and Tucker and I go platinum. I would say that. But you won't be producing, I guess.
That hurts my
feelings. It'll be
awkward. Insert frown emoji. Are we having a Christian McCaffrey renaissance? Is he back? What do you think? I could ask you to unmute.
Oh, I am.
Like you should probably do that on your own.
I mute myself by accident. A couple of teams.
It was because you were rude to me.
I was being funny. The couple of teams that were really, they needed the win to secure the playoff spot, and they did. It was not like Willis and Josh were like already in. We knew they had the star, the asterisk, whatever. They were just trying to, it's playoff positioning, points, titles, blah blah blah. Sean and Ben hit the notes.
See, look at both. You're not on your.
I'm not on my game, man. I got drunk yesterday. I drank a lot of margaritas.
Ooh,
and it takes me
sugar.
a couple of days.
How do you do that to yourself?
It was awful.
Awful
with the sugar. You should have seen me in the cab ride home. Like, I couldn't sit. My restless leg was incredible. I was like, Nicole, I was about to hop out and walk home. I was like, I'm gonna have to walk around when we get back.
Oh
It was
no.
terrible. I was like, "Can I have margarita? Not too sweet." And like they just don't. They just like nod at you and ignore you.
But what does that mean? How do you make a not too sweet margarita? How do you do that?
You lessen the things that make it sweet. What do you mean? Is that complicated?
Isn't it margarita mix? Like, don't they just have a? Is this like some fancy place where
No,
they like?
no. Most people don't do margarita. I mean, I don't know that much, but it's like triple sec and stuff. It's like it's
Oh,
not margarita mix.
I
You
don't
think
know
that's
how
what they
you
do
make
at
a
a
margarita.
nice restaurant? They use
I
margarita
don't know.
mix?
I'm not sure. Is this a Mexican
I don't
restaurant
know
you're
that
at?
much, but you know less than I do.
Was this a Mexican
Margarita
restaurant you're
mix.
at?
No,
Oh,
it was.
so
I just like tequila. Tequila is my drink of choice. What I should have done is just had tequila straight up. But then you
yeah, on the
can't risk getting
rocks.
too drunk. Is a problem. I just want to get a medium. I got the right amount of drunk. I didn't. You can't embarrass your wife for all these fancy people.
Gotta be
So
careful.
you
All right,
gotta
well,
get medium drunk. Anyway, but then you
medium drunk.
sacrifice your health, and I still haven't recovered.
Well,
As you
you're
can
gonna be
see, I
okay,
keep
man.
misspeaking. You already rated me a 7.5. It's all right.
I'm not out of 10. Um,
Where were we?
so
No,
Chris
we were talking about
Olave.
Sean. Sean did what he had to do.
Yeah,
Mike was fighting for a playoff
he
spot
did.
too. Mike has 0% chance. Took just a dreadful L. Gus Edwards, bum, about to lose his job. Christian Watson, though. Whoo, man, this guy
I mean, he's got a
scores a lot
rookie
of
keeper,
touchdowns.
that's for sure.
He wanted it so bad he traded Justin Fields for it, and then he found it for free. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, could have had
Something.
him.
Something.
Oh
I mean,
man,
this is
what a
a
bummer.
little bit. I mean, obviously he's really talented, but this is a little touchdown situation. I can't remember anything like this.
I
Yeah,
think
8
some people
touchdowns
are
in 4
really good at
games.
scoring. Yeah, I know. I think some people are really good at scoring touchdowns. I mean, I agree with you. I don't think like you can count on this sort of pace for the rest of his
Well,
career,
obviously
but
not. But yeah, he's obviously really talented. But yeah, Sean has when McCaffrey's going and Hurts is going and Tyreek is going. I mean, that's really good. Like,
Hurts
look at this
is
week.
man.
90 points from those 3 guys.
Uh,
That's like you just got to piece it together. Like he didn't have any other great performances. McLaurin had a 20, but other than that, that's just like slowly. And he still has Andrews. Sean's a team that could make some noise, but yeah, really, like he has 163, and you look at it, and it's really a lot of people not in double digits. It doesn't matter because they're good enough. Olave's a good player. Sometimes you're going to get it. Andrews, you're going to get it. Sometimes you're going to
I
get
mean,
it.
a rookie being the wide receiver 16 overall. I mean, it's an incredible season. Like Olave is a great. He's going to be a great fantasy guy going forward. Tyreek Hill, 218.9 points on the season,
Amazing job.
18.2 points a game. You
And
know,
you know
there's
what?
only
He only has 5 touchdowns. Unbelievable. Imagine he's one of those
imagine.
like you could end his season right now, and he's a wide receiver one season, 96 for 1,400.
Yeah,
What a year,
it's
this guy.
amazing. It's a
But
great
then
year
you
for
look
him.
at
It's,
Sean's bench, and you're like, why do you have these people? What are you doing? Jordan Love, Jermichael Hasty, Jordan Mason, fine. I guess you're handcuffing McCaffrey. You keep holding Kareem Hunt if you want. I mean, I get it. He hasn't scored double-digit points since week 5. But it's nice. I guess you're
well, you know,
handcuffing.
one argument I'll make for that would be like, okay, you have the new quarterback coming in. Maybe there's a change. You know, who knows?
Yeah. And he
But
did get
you could
8. He
drop him
got
now.
8.
You could drop him now.
But we can make fun of Sean's bench. It's fine. Adam Thielen sometimes scores points.
It's
Not
just
like
a
my
bench.
bench is that pretty.
It's just a bench.
Mike made it. You were proud of him, and you and he still had the
Still
same.
proud of him.
Yeah, maybe you didn't have to be proud. Maybe you should be complimentary in a normal way.
Maybe you can figure out how to not put the microphone like in your shirt. Maybe you can figure that one out, man.
Made all
Maybe
sorts of
that.
errors. We're not. What have I
Something
done
you
today? I
can sort
misspoke.
out.
I muted myself, and
Oh man, what a disaster! And you're very irritable, I would say. If I was to
I'm
say
really
one
tired. I
thing
wanted to
about
do this
this,
earlier. I'm really, really tired. I fell asleep like like such a deep nap time slumber. Normally my naps are, pretty low key. This was a deep nap. I was having trouble getting off the couch after this nap.
Ben, really excited to have Tony Pollard on the squad, looking like a good addition. Jamar
Ben's
Chase coming
team is
back.
good.
It's looking good. Look, he can win again. He absolutely could.
He is in the mix, man. He has a very well-rounded team. Sean's team is a little top heavy. And to compare the 3-4 seeds.
Yeah.
Sean's team is top heavy. Ben has CD, Chase, DK, basically 3 wide receiver ones. The flex is like a little meh. He can get in Singletary. He can get in Marquise Brown. It's not bad. He has options. Muth gets the rock. A little overhyped, but he gets the rock. And then Pollard has been awesome. And Cook. He's cowboy heavy.
Muth's overhyped. He's overhyped. Huh? Wow.
Well, I mean, it's just like there was a point where everyone's like, Muth, I'd rank Muth as the 3rd tight end. I get it. It's like, I like Freiermuth. I owned him, and I traded him. It was a bad trade, but he has 90 points on the year, so let's take it easy. It's nice, I guess, to get like 5 to 8 targets, sometimes more. But, like, it's not – he's not going to knock in your sock. It just goes to show you the tight end position is depressing.
It's depressing.
I'd rather have Muth than what I got.
Every year.
Every year. It's sad. Can we get a year with like 3 good tight ends? Like, remember, even when it used to be Jimmy Graham and Gronk, like, we don't even do that. It's just one.
Right. It's just one.
And let's give RKF his due. Really not pretty.
No.
But you don't Treylon Burks, beast of a catch.
Yeah, my God, what a monster. He's a good player, man. Does he have to drop him?
No, he could keep him.
Who's the rookie keeper?
Well, it's between Treylon Burks or Wandale or
oh, well, he's keeping Treylon Burks. Julio Jones Jr.
Or Pickens.
Oh, well.
Pickens.
Oh, so one of those guys is going to be out there. Thank you, Real Kingfish. Appreciate that.
Pickens coming off a 0.7. Not his best day, I guess. I like Pickens. Well, I like Pickens a lot.
You do?
I do. I've made that clear. Haven't I made that clear on this podcast?
I'm sure you have.
We've talked about I talked about him watching himself get drafted, remember?
Yeah.
In the skill league.
Right. Oh, you sent me that.
Did you put it in the show notes? Did you put it in the show notes?
No, I should, though. I'll go back to that show and put it in the notes.
You can put it in this show's notes once we reference.
All right. More work for me. Let's go. It's nice. You just show up and you complain about how tired and overly fed and drunk you are, and I'll just get back to work, boss. No problem.
Don't make this racial. That was just all racial when you
was it? Oh, I'm sorry.
Get back to work, boss.
Back to work, boss. All right, man. Well, listen, I have to say, going into this last weekend, I really hope you don't make the playoffs. I really hope I do instead. So,
right. I think that should
good
be
luck.
Clear. We can't really make the playoffs together unless you outscore Brian by 43 points. I win. Brian loses. You outscore Brian by 43 points. That's the only way we can be in it together.
Oh,
that would be nice.
All right. Well, that's a scenario. I mean, I don't know how.
But mainly, you're going to root against me.
Scenario.
You don't even have to watch. You just score have a decent week, and you root against me. And
I don't think I'm going to have a decent week. I think it's trouble. I have to say, I think it's trouble. But
I don't think. I mean, I never expect to have a decent
week
this week. Nobody does want to hear either of us win. I did not expect to win last week. Glad that I'm in the mix. But that's why you grind. That's why you never.
That was a nice victory, man. That was a nice. I mean, bam! That's a good pickup. I have to give it to you. Listen, I'm proud of you, man. Proud of it.
Kiss my ass, man. I don't want that. I don't want it. Take your pride to yourself. You can't be proud of me if I make the playoffs and you don't. That would be weird.
That'd be sad. That'd be sad. Really sad.
Happy for me. That's one of those.
I'll be happy for you. Yeah,
it's like something really good happens. It's like, oh, like, you know, my mom was telling me, he's like, he bought a house in the Hamptons. It's like some kid I grew up with.
Good
like,
for him.
That's it. That's all you can say. Good for him.
Good for him.
Good for him. And I mean that.
All
Good
right.
for him. I'm not jealous. I don't know why you told me this. I don't even know this dude anymore. But yes, he's really rich. Yes, he's really successful.
Good for him.
Nice. I don't say must be nice.
Well, shout out to must be nice. Shout out Nicole's holiday party. Love hearing about it every year. Shout out to you, sir. You're a wonderful co-host and comrade. I appreciate it as always.
This is good and efficient. Thank you for setting it up and doing the extra work, putting things in the show notes.
Thanks.
It's amazing work. And some people are you're going to Puerto Rico this weekend.
I am. If my son is a little sick, but it's not COVID, so we'll see.
Well, I think you're fine then. Everybody's sick. My kid's been sick. Sam, anytime you take Sam's temperature, he won't let you. If you take his temperature, it's 100. Guaranteed. For at least a month straight. I'm not even this is the literal zero exaggeration. Maybe he's just
that's my guy.
Normal temperature.
Come hang out with Sammy, man. That's my guy. He's just running hot, baby.
Yeah, he really is running out. His breathing. He's like, he's got some breathing issues too with his nose. I don't know. We got to get it checked out.
Oh, God.
A lot of issues. A lot of health issues.
Well, it'll be fine.
Anyway, on that note, I hope you have fun in Puerto Rico. Yeah, I'm sure you guys won't talk about fantasy.
No, not even for a minute.
I know, especially not the weekend when there's people fighting for playoff spots. But I wish you the best in fantasy, in your travels, in real life, and your son's health is also important to me.
Oh, that's nice of you, man. Okay, now I feel bad.
About what?
About being rude to you. Was I rude to you? I don't know. I feel like you were rude first. I'm not sure.
When you told me that I blew the scenario.
All right, it's 7.5 minutes, and that really set us down a path, huh? That really set us on down.
it was a contentious.
I think it was a contentious
pod from the beginning. I knew it too. Sometimes I have a lot of anger to get out, and I'm like, I'm going to take it out on Charlie.
Yeah. No, sir, I appreciate that.
That's what's great about you. You deal with it.
I'm good at it. I'm good, boss. I'm good. All right. You have a wonderful night. Give everybody a hug, and I'll talk to you soon.
Same to you.
All right, bro.